think we have a real problem in this industry that there's no clear career progression of how you move from floor to office or even get into floor. Companies do need to take some sort of responsibility and not just box tick and say, we would love for people to apply for this job if you are from this community or this community or this community. Actually do it. No disabled person is going to apply for this job. Well, ask yourself why. Where are you promoting that job? And we were saying how the coffee industry is quite inclusive. I think when I talk about that, I mean sort of my level down. Most of the time, I tell people my pronouns. They respect them. They're they, them, by the way. And yeah, I've not really had an issue, and I feel like it is sort of inclusive. I feel that's my experience. But someone sort of posed the question that I don't see many black people or people of colour in management roles. And I was like, yeah, you're right, and that sucks, and we should have more. Again, I think it's that, going back to that point I was talking about earlier, when you're hiring for a role, writing, please apply if you're from this community, this community, this community, but are you actually actively going out and seeking people from that community? What a great way to start.
Hello,
Hello, Rosie.
It's always really weird because it's not like we've been sitting
chatting
around eating pastries and drinking coffee.
We've quite literally been yapping for an hour, and now you're like, hello.
Now
Nice
this
to meet
feels
you.
really, really weird all of a sudden.
Really weird and awkward.
Thanks for having me in your house, though.
Very welcome.
Delicious pastries just had.
Delicious pastries.
Which was your favourite? Vegan.
Because we're acknowledging that we're vegan.
Do you feel?
We're proudly vegan.
Do you feel proud? Can you proudly tell people that you're vegan?
I am vegan.
But then do you get the whole thing of like, oh, a vegan telling people that you're vegan again?
Oh yeah, the old joke, like, how do you know someone's vegan? They'll tell you.
Yeah.
Ba ba ba. Think of something else funny. Moving on. How do you know you're I was going to swear, but I don't know if we're allowed to.
I would say you can.
I was going to use the worst profanity, so I'll just say, how do you know you're an idiot? Because I can see you with my eyes. That would be my reply to that joke.
That's quite a good reply.
It wasn't. It was a bit rubbish. It was a bit of a bad read, to be honest. But
were you aiming it at me?
no, you're vegan. You're welcome. No,
Okay.
I think I'm not one of those preachy vegans. I know we're not meant to be talking about veganism, but we've started on it. I'm not one of those preachy vegans, and I will, if somebody really, really doesn't want to eat vegan food, I will cook them meat. I have been a previous meat eater. I live with people who eat meat. I don't ban meat in the house, you know? It's everyone's personal choice, but I do think people need to obviously then have that reciprocated. Like, I don't preach to you about eating meat. Why are you preaching to me about being vegan? Like, why are you so vexed about it as well? Like, it's because I'm better than you. That's how I think of it, you know?
I think that...
I can't help being a better person.
So...
My favourite vegan pastry was actually the almond croissant. I'm a classic guy, you know. I just love a simple... The other ones were nice, but perhaps a little too sweet for me.
Okay.
How about you?
They were sweet. I think I am a fan of decadent things.
Oh, yeah. You look very decadent.
Thank you. Being vegan, a lot of the time, if I do have the choice to have something that's like kind of crazy, although maybe an almond croissant probably tastes better than whatever that tiramisu situation was.
Oh, that was actually quite good.
It was good.
Yeah.
But like, just makes me think that it's more exciting, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to get to have that probably ever again, so I'm just going to have it, and I'm going to enjoy that thing. That's how my choice works.
Yeah, because usually we get offered a falafel wrap and a brownie, and you should be grateful.
Yeah. And I do like falafel wraps and brownies.
Me too, but I don't need to have it every time I go out, you know?
No.
You know, let's have, I can't think of a fucking single thing, but let's have something else. You know, I've forgotten all vegan cuisine. Make me a toe fish burger. You know, it's not that difficult. It's almost as easy as a falafel wrap.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, have some inspiration.
I am I would say tofu is actually my favourite food.
I agree.
Mm.
I remember trying tofu for the first time.
Mm.
I'm glad that we've turned this into a veganism podcast. By the way.
I think
Great.
I've actually changed the whole
course of it.
I don't want to talk about coffee and
yeah.
like
boring. I do that every day.
accessibility anymore. No.
Let's talk about tofu.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's talk about tofu. No, don't sing. Okay, so cut that out in edit. Cut that out in post. Whatever you guys call it. I'm not a
no
guy
cutting
that
here.
does this. Oh, it's just fully great.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry that you have to listen to every single thought in my brain. Also, if you're a doctor and can diagnose me with ADHD, please do. This is my test. What was I saying? Tofu. Tried it for the first time when I lived in Australia. I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
You've been looking at my notes?
Yeah. No. And I cooked it myself, and I remember, I don't know if I marinated it. I don't even know if I did anything correctly. I ate it and I was like, what is this? Why?
Yeah.
But then I learnt the ways of tofu. Now I think it's the most versatile, delicious thing on earth. Have you had deep fried puff tofu from the Asian supermarkets?
No.
Have you ever had a pho from pho? Pho, it's called actually, sorry, mispronunciation.
Yes.
Pho. So in the little, the little puffy, they're like yellowish colour, they're like deep fried, that's deep fried tofu. And they're like pillowy, fried, delicious. Okay.
I don't think I've had the tofu from pho.
You need to have it. You're going to come back round. I'm going to make you some of this deep fried tofu. It's insane. It's delicious.
I'm here.
Anyway,
I know your address
tofu,
now, so
you do. Tofu, you can get silken tofu. You can make a cheese sauce out of that, full of protein. Where do vegans get their protein? Tofu. Beans. Pulses.
I don't know if it's my insecurity, my wrong insecurities about being vegan, but I feel like there's a couple of people that's turned us off by now, but we don't need these people anyway.
Yeah,
so it's
and
fine.
also if you have turned it off, that's very narrow-minded of you.
Yeah,
and you're not somebody that we want in this community,
no.
this coffee community.
Should we talk about coffee?
Let's talk about
now?
coffee.
Yeah, sorry to take you away from tofu. I'm
That's
glad
okay.
we both love it though, because genuinely,
I think it's really versatile.
so good.
Big up tofu. Big shout out to tofu. Go on. Let's talk
Coffee
about
wise,
Let's talk about
the coffee world. You started out in a coffee institution when you didn't really like coffee very much.
We're allowed to say big brands.
Yeah, I don't know where you think this podcast is going, but it's not like
Baby,
going on
the
BBC or
joking?
something.
With me and you on here, we're going to be shot to glow. We'll be on TikTok. People will make edits about us. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
Here it is.
A myriad of fans that I'm going to get after this. Are you joking?
Absolutely.
The deals that I'm going to get, the brand deals. That's why I'm worried about saying Costa. I don't want to be associated with that when I hit the big time.
Okay, sure. Do you want to skip over that part?
No, I did start at Costa. You're right. Yes, I did. Do you want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to ask a direct question?
I'll ask you a direct question.
Go for it.
At a time when you were on your way out of the educational system, is that fair to say?
It's fair to say.
And why
Kicked out?
Kicked out, okay. Kicked out and ended up in Costa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's about
ended
right.
up sounds really rude, actually. Sorry. And then you went to Costa.
Ended up sounds rude. Kicked out sounds worse. Yes, I did. I did end up at Costa. I had previous experience when I worked at university as a duty manager. I saw an assistant manager role at a local Costa. So I thought, why not? They're transferable skills. I'll just learn how to make coffee. I actually really liked making coffee. That was the best part of that job. The management side was kind of shit.
For any particular reason, or
just the people weren't great. They might be listening, so I don't want to say too much.
Are you still friends with any of them?
No.
Or
Actually, I do have a weird connection with someone in the industry, with somebody I did work at Costa who I do love. They're like, again, don't know if we're meant to mention this because, I want to hit the big time. But Alex Dante Smith, actually, we're from a similar region in the UK, in the Midlands. And it turns out we have a mutual friend who me and that person worked at Costa together. Small world. The coffee world is so small.
It is. Even if you were at Costa.
Even if you're at Costa in
Great.
the Midlands.
In the
Not
Midlands.
even in London, in the Midlands.
So you...
I'm aiming to reach Alex's status just from this podcast.
I mean...
Do you think that's possible?
You're sitting there with the microphone in your hand in your own house. Like, it... Does it get better
That's
than
even
this?
worse. I'm like, I don't even come to you. You will come to me. Sorry, back to Costa. Yes, so I just really enjoyed making coffee. It was around the time latte art videos started becoming more popular on YouTube, because that's how old I am. So I watched YouTube when I got home. I think Instagram had just started.
Okay.
Started seeing a few. They probably weren't called reels back in those days, but
no reels.
no.
Surely.
It was just a video that you posted on your story. No, I don't think stories
didn't exist. No.
Oh my God, I'm so old. I started watching videos of latte art, and I was like, oh, I like doing this. So sort of would take it back to work, practice. I think the flat white had just come into this country.
Whoa.
So Costa had a flat white. They also had a drink called a Costa Light, which I might try and make that again, but it was insane. You put the espresso in the milk and then steamed it together.
So there are places that actually
Was Costa ahead of its time?
doing that.
Do you know what?
I mean,
Big up Costa.
the problem with that is if you're drinking with your eyes,
Excuse me, with my eyes.
you don't. They
it's just a pale. It's a pale, foamy mess.
Yeah, it tastes nice.
It tastes delicious.
Costa Light.
Costa Light TM. Please don't sue us. Yeah, so really enjoyed making coffee, but obviously I got in trouble because I would do latte art and stuff, and Costa are very strict, and I get it. It's like when you go to a McDonald's, you want to get the same burger you get anywhere else. When you go into any Costa, that's their model. You want to get the same drink you're going to get anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I went on a roastery tour and went to the headquarters of Costa, which used to be in London somewhere, but I forget, it was so long ago. And that again inspired me further, because I was like, ooh, the roasting of coffee. Well,
Whoa.
the burning probably. The roasting of coffee. God, I'm going to get so many... People are going to put hits out on me after this, aren't they? They're going to be like, that's a hater right there.
Or
This vegan queer person. Ugh.
Or they're going to hopefully just come up to you and high five you.
Hopefully, my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just inspired me more to be like, do you know what? This is actually a really interesting world. Let's Let's dive deeper. Put my teeth in. Yeah, so I carried on just honing and messing around and playing with things. There was an internal competition at Costa to make your own drink.
Ooh.
I made a Ferrero Rocher mocha, but I put Nutella in the cream in the canister, whipped it up, put that on top. This is back when I wasn't vegan.
Oh, have you tried the vegan Nutella?
Which one?
No, the Nutella.
Oh no, is it good?
Oh my God.
We need to stop talking about being vegan. It's ruining your career.
Have you not tried it?
No.
Right, I'm going to get you some.
Okay. I need to do one more big shout out.
Okay.
Do you know the company Rhythm? I think they're called Rhythm 108.
Yeah.
Have you tried their pistachio cream?
No.
Right after this, I'm going to drive you down to Waitrose. I'm going to go get some. It is phenomenal. I had to stop myself from eating it straight out the pot.
I mean,
that's what they need to put in that. That would have blown me away.
They need to wise up to pistachio cream in those.
I won't shout out this bakery, but I will. Yeah. I will be emailing them after.
We will say, if you're going to make your baked goods with pistachio, make sure it tastes like pistachio
and not royal icing.
False.
Who said that? But everything else was delicious. Anyway.
So you saw the... sorry, did you win the competition?
Yes, actually. So it was an internal competition that then went to a second round. But during the next round, I actually broke my kneecap. And part of one of the challenges was how many espressos can you make in I think it was 2 minutes or something insane. Okay. And you had to stand to do that. And because I couldn't stand, I was disqualified from which actually isn't very accessible, is it?
It's not.
Looking back. I had a full leg cast, so I couldn't really do anything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just for a broken kneecap. And unfortunately, I couldn't go through any further, so someone else went through. I think they made a Parma Violet drink, which is not for me.
No,
not for me, but good for them.
It's very different to a Ferrero Rocher.
That was decadent, delicious. It had hazelnuts in. I think even gold leaf in there. 22, buying gold leaf. Who do I think I am in this economy? Insane. No, it might have been gold dust. Who knows? But I even bought little cups from a charity shop. I remember they were very sweet. I can probably find you a picture after.
Oh my god!
If I really went back on my Instagram. I
mean, this is quite not.
It's very retro.
It's quite a while ago, but I think
You're telling me.
These competitions are happening in our industry.
Are you saying
right now?
I should enter.
We should, yeah.
The vegan version.
The vegan version. I mean, I know of a vegan.
Do you know any
milk?
I was going to say, do you know any vegan? Do you know any
that do a competition that sounds exactly like that?
Do
actually.
they? When? Where?
We'll discuss
off
camera, so that it doesn't sound like I'm just. It really sounds like this is a vegan podcast.
I think you should change. I think you should just, let's just roll with it.
I'm gonna get this one out of the way first, and I'll
never do it again.
Well, so you moving on. Yep. You moved to Australia.
I did, yes. So whilst I was at Costa, I kind of just. Like I said, I'd been kicked out of university. I had to take a long, hard look at myself and be like, what are you doing with your life? You don't have a degree. You wasted all that time. I didn't waste.
Was it
That's
a waste?
Rude. No, because I have lifelong friends and it taught me a lot of life experience, I think. Like looking after myself, cooking, which we spoke about off camera before. I do love cooking.
You are a chef.
Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Yes. So valuable life skills, but I did have to go... Where are you going with your life? Like, who are you? Who is M? Who are they?
Yeah.
At the time, who is she? But let's not misgender myself.
Yes.
So I was working there. I had a friend and she'd come back from Australia. She was like, I'm saving to go back again. You can get this working holiday visa. Told me all about it. I was like, interesting.
Sounds good.
I've got nothing going on. I was living at home. By home, I mean like with my parent. Yeah. And so I was like, hey Dad, I'm thinking about going to Australia. He was like, go. You're 22. What else are you doing? Laying about my house. Get out.
All right, Michael.
My dad would never say that. Michael would never say that. He loves having me around.
Oh.
But no, I think he just thought, great opportunity. Mum agreed. Great opportunity. Off you go. So I packed my bags and never looked back. Ended up being out there for 5 years.
5 years?
5 whole years.
And you were doing coffee, not doing coffee?
So when I got there, I kind of fell into the hostel kind of world, the backpacking world. So I worked for my hostel that I lived in. I was driving a bus.
Like
a
bus?
So sort of a minibus.
Okay. How many seats are we talking?
15, maybe more.
15. I mean, that's big. I thought you were going to say 50.
No.
Not
15.
to like downplay your minibus experience.
No. It was sort of, just a minibus. So 15 to maybe 18. I can't remember the exact size. Fun fact though, the In-Betweeners 2 movie filmed at the Arts Factory. Shout out Arts Factory Byron Bay. If you're going travelling, please go there. It's insane. They were filming at the time that I worked there. So I'd go pick up the British backpackers from the main bus, like the Greyhound bus.
Yeah.
Big up Greyhound. I'm just going to shout out so many brands now. I'm looking
As
for brand
should.
deals. Like, I'll take anything. Greyhound, if you want to sponsor me on a one-way ticket, I'm happy.
One-way ticket to where?
Australia.
Greyhound
One-way
to
ticket
Australia.
Around Australia. Where was I going with this? Sorry, In-Betweeners movie. So they were filming at our hostel. I went to go pick them up. I'd be on the bus and we'd come around the corner. We're about to get into Arts Factory and I'd say, hey, everybody, we are actually having some filming done here right now. So you need to be very quiet. I'm going to park, not in our regular spot. I'm going to park just outside. We're going to quietly walk through the set. And then they'd see like Will from the In-Betweeners and be like, bus wanker! And I'd be like, and they'd be like, can't film this anymore. Gotta edit, gotta cut. Yeah, and if I want to watch the film, a few of like the people I lived in the hostel are in the background of some of the scenes. I'm just like, what a lovely time.
Oh my god!
Nothing about coffee though.
Were
Back
you
to coffee.
in the?
No,
did you see yourself?
I was working. No, I was working.
Didn't see yourself on the bus?
No.
Just to interject with my own fun fact.
Yes.
I saw Will from In-Betweeners in London Fields Park.
I saw him on the overground when I was going home once. I used to live in Tottenham, so I got the overground from where I used to work to my house, and I was sitting opposite him, and I was like, I've seen you in Australia, and now I've seen you in London. This is crazy.
Did you say anything?
No, I don't like to bother celebrities when they're out in the wild. They're just trying to live their lives. They're just people too, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Just
Also,
nice
what am I going to say? Briefcase wanker.
Yeah, what? Shout out to Will from
Shout out Will from Between
I
Us.
don't actually know his name. Sorry.
Simon Bird.
Oh, well done.
God, I'm good.
That was good.
I'm IMDb. Living and breathing. So, yes, went to Australia, got into the backpacking world. So worked for my hostel. I did a bit of reception work. I then got into, because I'd obviously mentioned at university, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I worked in nightclubs. So I have a lot of like managerial bar nightclub experience. So I fell into backpacker bars.
Oh, nice.
Not for the week.
No.
A lot of fun. I don't know if my liver has fully recovered 10 years later. But, you know, when you're not... I think it's one of those things, because you're, like, I'd be on the microphone like this, hosting trivia, karaoke, bingo, running the show, organising rosters, making sure... Or rotas, I can't remember what we say here and what we say there. My vocabulary is mixed up. Yeah, you sort of... I don't know. Start living the lifestyle that you're promoting.
Yeah,
so
of
if
course.
I wasn't working, I was going out.
Yeah,
and
that's what you're trying to get people to like.
Exactly,
Like
you're the
nothing
face
to
of
do.
it, you know, you're like ba ba da ba.
You're hardly gonna go and just have a quiet night on your night off.
No, you go to the place you work. It's sad.
Yeah.
So anyway, I eventually got out of bars and I got back into coffee. So I started being barista, and that kind of showed me the coffee world of Australia, which is a lot more advanced than here. They have great coffee in most places, even regional areas. Yes, they still serve it in a pint of milk, which is a bit bizarre to me. You know, the 12 ounce is standard when you get out further out of like Melbourne or Brisbane or like the cities.
Interesting.
But it's still really good quality coffee, you know? They've got that kind of right.
Okay.
The commodity is still there.
Yeah.
The scene is more evolved, I think.
Okay. So a bit of a step up from where you were, what you're doing coffee wise. And
what are you saying about Costa?
No, nothing. It's a question.
We're trying to get brand deals here. A massive step up, yeah.
Okay.
There were recipes.
Right.
There were scales, if you would believe that.
Okay.
There was latte art.
Whoa.
Crazy.
You could just do whatever latte art you wanted.
Exactly.
No constraints of brand
Exactly.
standards.
Exactly. I could do whatever I wanted. I learned how to do a swan. Yeah, so smashing out coffees, loving life in Australia. Somehow ended back up in bars at some point. Anyway, ended up coming back to the UK for a little bit because visas didn't work out, etc. You know, as it does. And my 30th birthday was fast approaching.
Whoa. That'll do it to you.
And I needed to get my working holiday visa for New Zealand before I turned 30.
Right, okay.
Because that was the cutoff then. I think they've changed it now. But also, this is a big promotion for anyone. Go and do a working holiday visa.
Okay.
Big promotion. Do it. Best thing ever. Changed my life.
Have I missed the boat now?
Are you under 35?
Yeah.
You can still go.
Can I?
Yeah. Australia you can. They've upped it to 35.
I'd just be... the problem is I'm like... When I tell you that I'm afraid of bugs, I mean...
Oh, don't go. Yeah. You stay here. You're fine.
Even just a mention of one is enough
set yourself
to like...
off.
Yeah, that's it. I need to stop this now.
Okay, bye. Thanks.
Bye. Yeah, probably not the place for me, I think.
Okay.
Just I'd live in fear the whole time.
I mean, you'd be fine if you went to somewhere like Melbourne.
But still a chance though, right?
I don't remember seeing a bug in Melbourne.
Really?
No.
Okay.
But when I lived further rurally, you'd hate it. Cockroaches.
Oh no, don't.
Oh, actually, no, I do remember seeing a... Yeah, no, don't go.
No.
No.
Anyway,
Excuse
sorry.
me.
This
Anyway.
isn't about me and my fears.
Should we flip reverse
No.
it?
No. Let's not do that.
Actually, this is your intervention.
Oh.
We're going to get you over your fear of bugs.
Oh my god.
So I was fast approaching 30. I applied for my New Zealand working holiday visa, went out to New Zealand. I timed it perfectly because COVID happened.
Great.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
Well done.
Well done. And COVID started happening, and I messaged my dad and said, do you think, I'd only been out there a couple of months. I was like, do you think I should come home? Like, the world's going mad. What's happening?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I think you're in the best place. Just stay. If anything crazy happens, I'll say, and then you should come home. And I take a lot of life advice from my father.
Good advice
Very
from
smart.
Michael.
Very smart geezer. So stayed. Won the lottery, really, because we barely had a lockdown. It was great. So I had a job doing a sort of data cleanup for a alcohol company.
Oh.
They owned a couple of bars. I was doing some pod stuff in the background because I am a bit of a nerd secretly. Like, I'm an introverted extrovert, classic. I just have neurodivergence. Something wrong with me. Something not right.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
Yeah.
Does introverted extrovert means that you're an extrovert, but with would it be more emphasis on the extrovert, but you have introverted, or are you going the other way around? Because I don't know which is extrovert and introvert.
I think I'm very much. I like having a microphone and an audience, but also at the same time inside I'm like,
yeah,
help.
Do you think about it a lot afterwards?
Yeah.
And be
this is gonna keep me awake for at least the next month.
Yeah.
This whole interaction.
Yeah,
we're in big trouble.
I'm having to have words with myself like on the daily basis. The fact that this is like recording number 4 in like less than a week. There's a lot of like introspection, which is just not helpful.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to drink a bottle of wine tonight and forget this ever happened.
Okay.
Yeah. In New Zealand, anyway, doing that job, boring. I then got a job at Allpress, working in the cafe in their flagship store in Auckland.
Nice.
So back into coffee. We're back on track. Don't worry. I take us on a little journey all the way around, but we always come back to coffee. Yeah, and I loved it.
How did that job come about? Is it something you
I saw an advert. Yeah, I thought, I know how to be a barista. I can do this.
Okay.
Do you know what? I've skipped some out. I've skipped a little bit of my story out. How dare I?
We've skipped out this part.
Yeah.
That's right, because I already know this about you. There was a whole part in between Australia and New Zealand.
Yes, back in the UK. Where I got into specialty coffee properly.
Out of office.
It's
okay,
coffee.
You were just so excited to tell me about...
so excited about New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. How long were you doing out of office for?
Washing's taken off. Sorry, we're at my home. I'm just looking at my washing, about to fly into the next door neighbours. For those of you at home, no. Honestly, I might just start a podcast of me yapping.
You don't need me here.
I do.
You can just...
I
disconnect this mic and then...
You're like, right, I've actually got to go. I'm here like, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yes, out of office coffee. They introduced me to specialty coffee. It's a kind of a group in the Midlands from where I'm from. I worked there for about 8-10 months, something like that, just before I went to New Zealand. So that really got me involved in doing pour overs, like how to brew coffee correctly, what it should taste like, developing recipes, like using scales correctly and weighing the yield. What the hell was a yield? I don't know. Learned that.
Great.
So yeah.
Took that to New Zealand with you.
Took that to New Zealand. So that's how I got a job at Allpress, because I was actually a very good barista.
Because you knew what a yield was.
I knew what a yield was.
Yeah.
And I loved working at Allpress. It was great. A larger company that still did specialty. It was an interesting time. And then I really wanted to stay in New Zealand, so I kind of convinced them. No, there was a job going in customer service, and I thought, what a nice way. I'm over 30. I probably shouldn't be a barista anymore. I can't deal with another clopen. An open close. I can't do it. I simply cannot.
No one should have to.
I'm too old to live an uncomfortable life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
agreed.
I convinced them to give me this customer service job.
Convinced them?
Well, it was taking a risk. I was not from there. I didn't have a visa. I had a bit of admin experience, but not loads.
Okay.
So it was kind of a risk. But they accepted. And then I convinced them to help me get a work visa, which they did. And then I had to kind of change my job slightly. So I became like office manager, because you have to have, to get a work permit, you have to have a certain title. So it was like office manager, customer service, something or other.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact title. So about 80% of my job was still customer service, taking orders, sorting all that stuff out. And then 20% of my job was just looking after the office, ordering stationery, organising things, that sort of stuff.
Great.
Organising parties.
Oh.
I was very good at that.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Were you taking any of the bingo and like emceeing skills into the parties?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So we did a I can't remember if it was boozy, but it was definitely a funny bingo.
Yeah.
Me and one of the trainers at the time. Shout out Elle.
Shout out Elle.
Don't know what Elle's doing now, but I'm sure, she's probably living her life in New Zealand, having a great time.
Elle, if you're listening.
If you're out there. Elle, if you're out there, thank you for listening. Thanks for being a
Aw.
friend.
Oh, that's nice.
We did a little bingo, and yes, I did some. I think I organised like a paint and sit night, just silly little things, you know.
Yeah,
But they were fun.
very nice.
Circumstances changed, and I needed to come home. So unfortunately, that did end.
Well, how long were you there for?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that progression like for what was the progression like for you from barista going into these roles? Like, did it kind of feel natural?
Yes, very
Yeah?
natural. Very natural. I think it's a bit of like a little bit was luck because
Okay.
the opportunity arose, and that was kind of the luck side of things, that it sort of all fell into place, that kind of thing. But then the other part is I do have some skills.
Of course.
Have a bit of charm.
Yes.
So I think it was a I might not have educational skills, and I'm not like well educated in that way. Like, it's not my forte. It's not my thing. I don't like, I'm not great at reading. I have other skills, and I think proving those skills made the transition somewhat easier. Like, it was a combination of luck and right time, right place, right place, right time, whatever the saying is, and having a little bit of charm about me, a little bit of, jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing vibe going on.
But
ADHD.
And that.
Yeah, and I think that's what really sort of helped me get those roles, and made the transition easier.
But I think that's probably like, because I remember like being a barista and it just wasn't clear to me like that there really was anything.
Oh no, it's not clear.
More than in coffee being manager of shop, or it's not clear. And I was very much like, I did have a degree. It was like, it's got nothing to do with anything. Now sitting here with the camera in front of me, after a couple of years later, it kind of all makes sense and looks like quite linear, but it just like wasn't. I feel like it's quite reassuring for some people to hear, probably at wherever they are in their like journey, and to go, actually can progress into these other things without.
I think you just got to back yourself and take a chance when you see a chance. I've had someone say to me before, like, oh, I didn't think you'd ever apply for that job, but you just do it. Like, do it, take a chance. You might not get it, and that's the thing about life. There will be knockbacks, but just you got to keep getting back up and keep trying. I think that's the key. Have I got every single job I've ever wanted? No, but I've still made it here somehow by the skin of my teeth.
And did it feel like the end of the world when those jobs, like, you're like, oh my god, this is I'm never gonna come out of this job that I'm in. This thing didn't happen, that I'd like set my sights on this like job that wouldn't have even now when I look back at stuff like that, when I was like heartbroken, I was like, that would have been terrible. Why would I have wanted to go and do that thing? No.
Listen, I take rejection very badly. I would be devastated, but like you said, you look back and you go, didn't even want it anyway.
Yeah, and look at you now.
And look at me now. Back to progressing from sort of floor to office kind of thing, which happens a lot in coffee. I think we have a real problem in this industry that there's no clear career progression. And I do believe the reason why we are here today is not to talk about veganism. It is to talk about coffee and career progression.
Yeah.
And I'm not somebody who can spit out facts, but there is a fact somewhere in Well Grounded saying that people often don't stay longer than a certain amount of years in coffee or
2
something.
years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Thank God you're here to fact check me, because I'd be like, 1 month and they leave.
Well, that is actually one of the facts that I based this whole project. That was the inspiration for this project, actually. So,
and we've come full circle. Thank you for coming. I think there's an issue that there's not a clear career progression of how you move from floor to office, or even get into floor. And I know something that's happening right now. This has happened since we've had that initial conversation in your notes. Some like university grads, master's graduates, master graduates can't even get I can't even talk, can't even get jobs as baristas because they don't have experience. We're having things now in the workplace where an entry-level job isn't an entry-level job because it says you need this much experience of this and this and this and this. How do you... What? That's not an entry-level job to me then.
Yeah, yeah. And what, like, most barista job you see as well, it will be like 2 years experience.
What?
Yeah.
I think lean on the roasteries. Roasteries have training teams for this exact reason. We can train people to make coffee. Like, okay, I'm sure people don't want to hear this. It's not that hard to make coffee. Honestly, the only thing you need is a bit of passion. I feel even like that, you don't even need passion. You don't even need to like coffee, everyone. If you don't even like coffee, you can work in coffee. It's fine.
I do have a note here that says that, when you started, you weren't even...
I didn't even drink coffee.
No.
Don't think I liked it.
Yeah.
Now, can't get enough of the stuff.
Well, I've had 2 coffees since I've been in your house, so... Wow! No, it's a very good point, and it's baffling.
Just to finish my point, because I don't think I finished a single point that we've spoken about today, but just to finish my point on career progression, I think there's definitely a gap and something we could all definitely work on in the coffee industry, and also recognize some jobs are stepping stones to the next thing, and that's not a bad thing. And also, back on the entry level situation, I have always, when I've been in positions of management, I've always personality hired. You know, I'm not hiring someone for brain surgery. You don't need to have a degree in brain neuroscience or whatever it is. You know, I'm always looking for someone who's gonna not even work hard. I mean, that's important. I don't want to get into the girl boss mode because I don't believe in that. But I'm always looking for someone who I can trust, who has a great personality, because that's more important than anything. It's about how people make you feel. If I went into a coffee shop, had to wait 15 minutes, but the person behind the counter was so much fun and just lovely and light. That means more to me than waiting 2 minutes to get a coffee and be out the door, like a soulless interaction.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
You can teach someone to make coffee.
Yeah, you can't teach them
can't teach someone to smile. I don't even agree with that either. I don't even agree with that. You can't teach someone, if you treat your staff well and make them happy, that's going to go much further than anything. I mean, I probably shouldn't say this on a podcast, but back in the old days in Australia, people used to work for accommodation. It's very illegal. Don't do it. Why would anyone want to come work really hard for me when they're just doing it for their accommodation? Yet they did. Because I treated them well. At Christmas time, when they, didn't have anywhere to go, I had them around my house. We all know I'm a feeder. I sorted them out with a barbecue, went down to the beach, got them alcohol. I'd reward them for their hard work or their good work, or like whatever. Yeah. But I'd always, whenever like a Canadian or an American came in, I'd be like, you're high. Or a Scottish. The Scots, best hospitality ever. Have you been to Scotland?
I mean, I've been to a few Glasgow Coffee Festivals.
It's freezing up there and they're happy as Larry. Big up Scotland. Big up Scotland. And I was recently in Edinburgh and I went into a coffee shop, and honestly, so lovely.
So true.
So lovely. And they are so cold. It's very cold up there.
I suppose
I wouldn't be that chipper.
No.
I'm a lizard.
But I guess you've got no choice. Maybe the enthusiasm really gets you through the...
But honestly, Canadians, Americans, Scottish, great hospitality, I'd be like, look, yeah, you're hired.
I feel like I saw, it might have just been a graphic on Instagram, so I don't know how true it is, but I feel like I saw a thing very recently that was like, the best hospitality in the world is in Ireland.
Okay. Oh, actually, you're right. I did hire a lot of Irish.
I mean,
and I agree. Got it. There's something about them.
Yeah.
What is it? I'd love to get to the bottom of that. Is it that their country's set up for success and they're looked after and paid well? Probably not. Is it that they've got lovely weather and everyone's beaming? Probably not. What is it then? Yeah. Someone should do a study on this. I don't know. Smart people, do a study.
I am going to take you back to New Zealand for a second before we come back.
Where's the plane ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you were at All Press in New Zealand, that's where you started learning sign language.
Yes. My lovely friend Ayupu. So there was a big thing at All Press when I was there around starting whole this is retro, diversity and inclusion, because we're getting rid of it now let's not do that.
Please.
There was a big sort of push. They because All Press is a global brand. We have it here in England. There's some in, I think, Singapore. They have one. They have one in New Zealand. They have one in Japan. So anyway, we got people from these different teams and created this diversity and inclusion panel, and started to do some training and different bits and bobs. And then around the same time, we in New Zealand hired a deaf technician called Ayupu. Now, me and Ayupu have nothing in common. He was a 23-year-old Samoan guy who played rugby. I was a 30-something-year-old non-binary, queer, drag queen loving, drag king loving fruit.
What do you mean you didn't have anything in common?
We had nothing in common. But I do know what it feels like to be an outsider. Or someone who's not included in things is probably better. Not an outsider, because that's a horrible way of putting it. But I do know what it feels like to be excluded from the norm or not be welcome somewhere. So I was like, I just want to know how to speak to this guy. Like, you know, learn the basics. You know, you can pick it up. So yeah, started to learn New Zealand Sign Language. I think All Press did a brave thing hiring him, which I shouldn't say that because it shouldn't be. But at the time, they weren't set up for it. They had to change a lot of things because it wasn't accessible, or, you know, like just think of a fire alarm. He can't hear a fire alarm. So I had to put in like lights and change the way the things worked. And they put on a 6-week intro to it's New Zealand Sign Language, because just like languages, every country has a different version of sign language. Some signs are similar, but most are different. So we learned New Zealand Sign Language, and I got to start talking to Aipu. So at lunchtime, I'd make sure I always have my lunch at the same time and have a little chat with him.
Great.
Yeah.
And what did you talk about?
Rugby.
Right. Please tell me you also talked about drag.
We did. No, it would always be like, what have you got for lunch? Because I didn't know a lot, but it'd be like, what have you got for lunch? So it'd be like, you know, I've got like pork, and I'd be like tofu or whatever the sign for tofu was. Vegan. And we would talk about like what we'd got up to at the weekend. So obviously he would be like, I've played rugby, or I've done this. I like cars, and I'd be like, I went to a drag show. You know, and we're just very surface level. You know, we weren't having deep chats, but it was nice.
It's important though.
Yeah,
definitely. Do you think like the coffee industry is somewhere that's set up for people who are deaf or hard of hearing at all? No. Because you also do some work now with Dialogue Hub.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're the right person to ask about whether we are.
Yeah.
How we could be more.
There's so much to do. I think it's very difficult because it does need to come sort of top down. I think.
Yeah.
Starting with the government, like I think if we're being truthful, the whole world isn't set up for anyone with a disability or any sort of differing, like, you know, what even is normal? I don't know anymore. But the world isn't set up for them. So how can then like companies be set up for them if there's no like funding or research or backing or whatever? We're like quite literally stripping people away of like PIP, for instance, in this country. How are disabled people meant to get out there? It's the same with trans people, right? We're trying to push everyone back into their houses so they're not out in the public for people to see, and it's kind of sad, really. So I do think some of it needs to come from sort of the top down.
Yeah.
And then companies do need to take some sort of responsibility and not just box tick and say, we would love for people to apply for this job if you are from this community or this community or this community. Actually do it.
Yeah.
Don't just and then if you're like, you know, for instance, no disabled person is going to apply for this job. Well, ask yourself why. Where are you promoting that job?
Yeah.
Put it out in communities, you know, in disabled communities. Also, you don't want to have the burden of changing, so you don't apply like to those communities, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say, like, a wheelchair user, for instance, might not apply because they know that we can't put a lift in the building, or we have to change the whole thing. So if you're not actively seeking out those people, you don't have to change.
Yeah, like which way round is it supposed to work? You know, like you kind of need to make those adjustments first to like then welcome people.
Not be forced to make those adjustments because, you know, you didn't realise someone in, like, I'm using a wheelchair user as an example here, but you didn't foresee a wheelchair user applying for that job. They've come for the interview and you're like, oh, gonna have to move the interview downstairs, for instance, if your office is upstairs or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't want to be forced as a company to make those adjustments. They should already exist.
Yeah, 100%.
And then welcome people in.
I think a really good example that I've seen while I've been in the coffee industry was the lovely Grace, who was doing Manchester Coffee Festival. Had interpreters at panels, and had made that accessible for people who were deaf or hard of hearing. And I was when I was in with the previous company, and I was working on the stand, and that I had an interaction with someone who's deaf, and it really made me think about like the fact that because Grace had put those things in place to make it welcoming to deaf people to be able to come to a coffee festival, like that is how it should be, right? Rather than waiting for someone to turn up and go, oh, you know, a lot of coffee festivals aren't very accessible. Waiting for someone to turn up and go, oh, actually, how can I get round this festival in my wheelchair? Or, you know, like it's, it's a tricky one.
Thinking about those things before they become a problem or an issue or like whatever. Yeah, it's very difficult. And I think one thing definitely I've learned about the deaf community are they're so, even if you just try, they're so, which they shouldn't have to be.
No.
They should be like, right, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
But they're just so grateful and like welcoming. And if you get it wrong, they'll teach you, or they'll look at you like you've got three heads and you're like, oh, I've obviously got this wrong. I'll finger spell it so they understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, they're so welcoming. Like you just don't understand how much a little thing like that goes a long way. Like your interaction with that person, I bet they felt just so great because they were welcomed somewhere. They weren't like, oh, I've turned up, I don't know how to get around this festival, I feel left out, I feel excluded. There's nothing worse than feeling excluded. I know, I'm sorry, I'm going to bring it back to veganism. Or any dietary requirement, for instance. If you've ever been to an event and you can't eat anything and you're like, oh, is there any option for me? Say someone's celiac. Is there anything for me? No. Okay, well, now I feel excluded and I feel really rubbish. There's nothing worse. And it's the same. It must be exactly the same for having a disability. Like,
I mean, if it comes down to being able to even access a building or communicate with people, I would say that's a lot worse. Yeah. For sure.
I mean, I'm like, oh, I'm sad I can't eat, boo-hoo. But like, not being included because you can't get in.
Absolutely. Dialogue Hub. What is
Dialogue Hub?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't want to move on without us kind of just talking
We've
about
skipped over the rest of my career in London. Whatever.
Yeah, we come back to it in a minute, but I think what they do is important. So
very important. So Dialogue Hub. I currently work for Union Hand Roasted Coffee, and when I first started just over a year ago, I got this lead from Newham Council around, I think Dialogue Hub had existed in Waterloo Station before with a different supplier. And because I don't know what the connection is, but we're sort of based in Newham area. So, we are in Newham. I think that was kind of the connection. So they put us in touch with them and they set up in the University of East London, and they've just opened a second site in Stratford. So it's like a train carriage, converted train carriage. It's very, very cool.
I've seen this on Instagram actually. Was it because you shared it or did it just come up? I don't know. Anyway,
could have been both, could have been either. No, they were on like actually really cool, like the BBC and Secret London, which I think is great. They need as much publicity as they possibly can get because they hire deaf and hard of hearing people, and they encourage you to order your coffee in sign language. So it's an inclusive workplace. They put on courses. I just finished a 6-week introduction to BSL, British Sign Language, with them. And yeah, I just think it's a really good thing, and I really hope everyone supports them and they just do really well because it's great. And speaking to the people that sort of work behind the scenes, the lovely Priscilla, who was teaching us BSL, she works with helping deaf people get jobs and like prepare for interviews, and just listening to like the struggles, and it must be really daunting and scary. Like, there's not enough interpreters either. So if anyone wants to retrain and spend about 6 to 10 grand on it, I really, really would recommend it. Like,
to become an interpreter.
Yeah, there's a shortage. We need more. I'd love to do it. Probably something I'll look into in the future.
Future career.
Future career.
I
But I'm
can
just
vouch for that actually, because keep my last job was look hired interpreters a couple of times, and not a huge even in like London, like not a huge amount of availability.
No.
Very sought after professionals, as they should be, but
But we should be teaching it in schools.
right.
I've also learned
That's
recently
mad.
there's this crazy language called Makaton, which they teach to a lot of kids. Why don't we just teach them BSL? Kids are so easy to teach languages to.
Yeah,
Let's just teach it.
right.
Let's be inclusive. Call me woke.
I will.
Hello, woke. I just don't understand people who like, not to get all deep and emotional, I'll probably start crying, but why would you want to hate on things? Like, why do you want to hate on disabled people? Why do you want to hate on like trans people? No one's doing any harm. People just want to live their life and feel like they're part of something, just like you do. And just because you're like fitting into the norm of society, why would you want to be a hater of that?
I don't know. I was having this exact conversation last week, actually. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's an entirely that's a podcast in itself, right?
Right? Truly.
God.
And I'm sure there's more, like so many ways that, you know, I could be more woke and be more inclusive that I don't even realize I'm doing because of how society's like gone around. And I do think that you need to have your eyes open to things before you like realize how many barriers there are to different people. But can't we all just be nice? Can't we all just be loving? I feel like that girl on Mean Girls at the end is like, and I want to bake a cake with rainbows.
You don't even go here. No, it does. It really does baffle me that just letting people be who they are is a challenge. Let people piss
in peace.
Yes, please. Yeah, no, it is very complex conundrum that I don't have really have much of a theory on.
Yeah, I wish I had an answer.
I don't have to follow that now.
The end. Good night. Thank you for coming.
We did speak a little bit about the educational system there a little bit, and I guess like stuff like sign language not being taught in schools. And we touched on earlier that uni turned out to not be the right place for you at the right time, which I think traditional learning systems aren't for everyone.
Nope.
Do you think coffee is a good place for folks like that who maybe don't learn sitting in a classroom?
We were saying this off camera earlier. Everyone in coffee, there's something wrong with them. I'm being silly. No, I think it's a great place for, you know, introverted, extroverted people, because it is a sociable job, but you also can go and switch off. It's also a great job for people with like neurodivergence. I couldn't think of the word then. I was like, neurodivergence. Because, okay, you need to have a bit of organization. Like when you're a barista, you need to be like focused and But it's also, because it's such a busy environment, I found, my personal lived experience, I had all these tickets and I needed to do the job, but my brain would quieten down because I had all these things to do, like a real focus. Like I could hyper focus on my job, put it that way. And then when I left, I'd be like, ba, 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 ba. But you could also yap to your mates. You could also, once you got the hang of like multitasking and doing it, you can do all that stuff and have fun. And I do think it is, I think it is a great place for, like, I mean, I did an SCA course and had to do an exam, which was hard because exams aren't for me. So if you want to go down that sort of professional route, but you don't need all that stuff. I said, you just need a bit of passion for the thing that you're doing. You don't even need to like coffee, if I'm honest.
But I mean, you're
helps.
probably gonna end up liking it at some point.
If you've got the passion and you want to do a good job, I think you will end up liking it, because you end up trying it and you're like, oh, actually, start with a mocha. Everyone does.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's
the gateway drug.
That is interesting. I started with mocha, actually.
Hazelnut mocha. Big up, Costa. Still looking for brand deals. We've been here hours, but I'm still looking. Sorry,
it feels like we didn't mention any brands for like half an hour then.
God.
Oh God, we better
It
got
got
some
deep.
in. It did. Then we were mentioning way better stuff like Dialogue Hub and stuff. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, big up Dialogue Hub.
Yes.
There you go.
No, sorry. I was going to say that I tried to start with a mocha too, but actually really this isn't very interesting. But
Tell the viewers at home, Rosie.
but I then tried a filter and I was like, oh, that doesn't taste like a coffee, so I like that.
Oh, okay. I had
Yeah.
the opposite reaction at the time.
Oh, really?
I was a bit like, oh, this is spicy.
Spicy? Like, was it
No,
actually
I think
spicy
it was
or?
just, no, just like spicy as in different.
Oh, it's yeah.
But then eventually I sort of was like, oh no, it's kind of like tea actually if I think about
Yeah.
it, and it's a bit more interesting and there's different flavors. It's not like espresso.
Yeah.
um,
Espresso, chocolate and milk
Yeah,
all together.
yeah. I think how I got into like I would eventually lower the amount of hazelnut syrup I put in there, and then eventually lower the amount of chocolate.
Oh,
Excuse
okay.
me.
And
And
then
then go
you
for
just
a,
had
like a flat white or a cappuccino. I think I went
Okay.
cappuccino because I don't know which is. You think that would have more espresso in because of the milk sort of.
yeah less.
But I like the foam. I used to be a proper foam, geezer, like eating that foam.
I do like a foamy hot chocolate.
Oh, I'm going to shout out something else. The best drink I've
Yeah.
had, and I know
Ever?
and I know you've been there.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm ready.
Margate. Do you say it? Doubloons.
Doubloons. Yes.
Right. I had this orange iced
I had
with
that
the oat cream.
2 days ago. What with the orange juice?
Did it have orange juice in it? Potentially.
Wait, which one did you have?
It was an iced drink. It was orange flavored. It was a cold brew. I think it did have orange juice.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it,
yeah. Cold brew,
But
orange
then
juice, and then
the
cold.
oat cream.
Yeah.
The oat cream.
Oat.
I
oat
need
orange
whoever you
cream.
are. Do you
Slice
know
of orange
them?
on top.
Yeah. Do you know them?
Yeah.
Can you get the recipe for that cream? Because I need it.
Britta, Michaela, if you are listening,
If you're watching and listening,
and would
please,
like your
I beg you.
recipes.
I haven't stopped thinking about this drink since I think I went to Margate in May.
Oh my god, was that long
June?
ago? Wow. Okay.
June?
Great.
May or June. It was sometime around then. I've not stopped thinking about it.
I was there 2 days ago and had that exact drink.
And
yeah.
wasn't it mind blowing?
So good.
I need to go back and try the cherry cola one.
Oh, yes. I would argue. I mean, I'm more of a cherry kind of person anyway, but
Okay.
I would say, yeah. Shout out to Balloons.
Shout out to Balloons. Big up. Send me the recipe. Thank you.
Going back slightly to what we were talking about before.
Going back to the point of this podcast.
No, it's great. There's been so many like little tangents. It's exactly what
When
we
you
want.
listen back, you'll be like, what the hell did we even talk about?
I look forward to listening to it back, I think.
Okay.
We also already talked a little bit about Well Grounded because of the report that they did.
Big up Well Grounded.
Big up Well Grounded, absolutely. You were on a roundtable discussion with them.
I was. March,
When
I
was that?
believe.
Oh, this year, was it?
Yeah, this year.
That's nice.
I think it was around March time. Probably.
yeah.
Time doesn't
were-
exist in my mind. What is time?
what
Who
is
invented
time?
that and why?
Doesn't exist.
New podcast idea. Time. We're gonna do a vegan one and we're gonna do one about time. I was on a round table and I thought it was lovely.
So just to explain as well, in case anyone doesn't know, there's
In case you don't know about
well-
Well Grounded.
Well Grounded sometimes do industry roundtable events where they get 3.
There's quite a few of us, I think. There's
More than 3.
five or six.
Okay, they get a few people from
Yeah.
the industry,
Yes.
from different roles.
Yes, in
And-
different sectors of the industry as well, not just like everyone's from a coffee roastery. It might be
Yeah.
milk supply or cafe owner or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
some
then
are graduates themselves, like
Yeah.
previous graduates who've gone on to do great things.
And you
they-
can come to that session and
Yeah.
ask questions and hear what these people have to say.
So yeah, the current participants who are on the course
Yes.
come and ask you different questions of similar to this sort of podcast, like your career progression, like how did you go from being barista to this? It's just to see where you can get to, basically.
Yeah.
And
Someone asked you a potent question, I would say.
yeah, and I respect it, and I agree in what they said. So, I was there with someone else who is also in the queer community. If you couldn't tell.
What do you mean?
What are you on about? You look so straight. And we were saying how the coffee industry is quite inclusive. I think when I talk about that, I mean sort of my level down. Sort of higher management is, and it is sort of changing as we grow up and we take those roles. I think it's sort of changing.
As we grow up.
I'm never gonna grow up. I'm never gonna grow up. I'm Peter Pan. yeah, and we were just saying, you know, it is very inclusive. Like I mean, the only time I've had a bit of an issue is the last London Coffee Festival. I went in the toilet and there was a sign and it said ladies only on one of the doors. I'll show you a picture after. It's crazy. And I should have written to them, but I didn't. I just let it go. And I thought, who's put that up? Is it the organisers? Is it some turf? Is it what?
Was it like a handwritten sign?
No, it was a printed out sign stuck on the door. And I thought that's a very strange thing to do.
Yeah, it is a strange thing to do.
So that's the only time I've not felt included in the coffee industry. Anyway, most of the time,
weird.
You know, I tell people my pronouns. They respect them. They, them, by the way. Again, if it wasn't obvious. And yeah, I've not really had an issue, and I feel like it is sort of inclusive. I feel that's my experience. But someone sort of posed the question that I don't see many sort of black people or people of colour in management roles, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Like,
yeah,
and that sucks, and we should have more. But again, I think it's that going back to that point I was talking about earlier, when you're hiring for a role, writing, please apply if you're from this community, this community, this community. But are you actually actively going out and seeking people from that community?
Yeah.
And there lies the chicken and the egg situation. It
is a perplexing in some ways and also in some ways not, because I think we're saying, and it's kind of our experience that we have, sorry, I was going to say like graduated. I don't want it to seem like it's like a step up, because it's not a step up. It's just a step in a different direction to not being in like front of house cafe work. But I think as someone who spends a lot of time in cafes, in terms of people who work in cafes, you do see a wider range of people from different ethnicities, from queer people, trans people, like it, but that doesn't translate to roles further up in the industry. Again, don't want to say up, I'm just lacking a better word for it.
I know exactly what you mean.
In
management roles, I'd say. Like, yeah.
I mean, but I'm not in a management role. I just don't work in a cafe. But it's
office roles, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't really work in an office either.
True. But behind the scenes,
of the
coffee
coffee industry,
yeah,
kind
maybe.
of.
I do agree. There's less inclusivity, and even I think in some respects, less even like queer people, and not that they're like. I think they've been more accepted quicker than like people from other communities, which isn't the way it should be, but unfortunately that is just how it's happened. Rights are now being stripped back in all sorts of manners, which is crazy. But yeah, I feel like you see less. It's more white straight men is what I'm trying to say, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in that sort of the coffee bro scene.
Yeah.
Which we need to change and dismantle.
But I think it's important to acknowledge it, because obviously for that to be happening, there's barriers somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I'd say the majority of us came from barista backgrounds.
Yep.
And then there becomes a disparity, like as we move along, whatever we're calling this, into roasteries or machine manufacturers or all the plethora of roles that there are in our industry that aren't working in cafes.
Yeah.
So I think that person made a really good point to kind of bring that up. And
they certainly did.
How did you
handle
answer that?
Question?
Yeah.
I mean, all I could speak from was my experience and what I've seen, and agree with what they were saying. And there was actually a person of colour who was on the round table, like talking to the graduates.
Yeah.
Or I can't remember what they call them, but they are graduates now. Who kind of shared their experience, and I think that kind of answered it. It wasn't. No one has an answer to that question, really. The answer is, we all know the answer. It's not fair, and it's not right, and it's not, and something needs to be done. And, you know, I can do what I can when I have hiring power to hire people in those roles and bring them forward and stuff. But I don't have power further going up. But, you know, as I move on with my career, hopefully I will have more ways of holding the door open. I think a lot of people do shut the door behind them as well, which is really sad. Like, hold the door open for the rest of the communities to come through. Like, honestly, 100%. Like, look at how diversity is so important. I don't think people realize how important it is. One of like a couple of examples, like the Euros, the men's Euros in 2022, I believe.
Don't ask me.
Football. Sports. I only watch women's football, so this is embarrassing. But I did watch the men's Euros. I believe it was 2022. They had, on the England team, such a diverse group of men.
Okay.
From all different, like heritages, different ages. They all work together, and that is the true meaning of diversity. You know, they're all working together for one goal, but everyone has their input.
Right.
Or everyone brings their bit of culture to it, you know? And that's what we need.
It is what we need.
Diversity, like, breeds ideas. Different ways of thinking. I think that's why I get on so well, because my brain works slightly different, I think, if you can't tell. And
I think we're in the same boat in that,
I always
in that
look
respect.
at things, I look at things differently, and I think that's how I've got on quite well, because I might maybe people might not like it, but challenge people or say, have you thought about looking at it this way?
Yeah, which is great.
But
100%.
we need more of that, please.
To round things off, sadly.
We're coming to the end of our show.
Sorry.
We're coming to the end of our...
Someone get us
on panels. We are available for panels. Are we?
Yeah.
I'll put you forward for that.
I mean, always. Yeah. Do you do many
I don't,
panels?
but I should.
Have you never done one?
No.
Why not?
I just don't think people know who I am.
Well,
But
they
they
do
will
now.
now.
I mean, also, do you know what another thing is? That is not an excuse. Because the thing is, if people
The
just
same people
always
go
go...
on the same panels. Who said that?
Did someone...
I said it.
You've said it. Yes. But the people putting on the panels, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to look within my network that I already have and use this pool of people.
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously it's always going to say insular. Like you just said, you've never done a panel, which is kind of crazy to me because I've kind of known you as like someone who's very good at speaking in a microphone. Like,
look at the way I hold it. It's so professional.
Exactly. Don't know if it was the first time that I met you or the second time I met you, but you still didn't know who I was, which is great.
Don't bring that up.
A Christmas party, and you were doing the musical bingo, which I loved so much that I actually took to my own Christmas party. And I don't know if I ever told you this, but I then did it like a few weeks later to my own team.
Stop my idea.
Oh my
No,
God,
I'm
it was
joking.
so much
I
fun.
love that. Yeah, it's so much fun, right?
So good.
Yeah, musical bingo. I am available for weddings, birthdays. Please hire me. I do quizzes, can host karaoke. I'm not cheap. I am.
As you shouldn't be.
What was the question? Or was it just
I don't know. I don't think I've asked anything yet. My question was going to be in terms of trying to welcome a more diverse industry.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think we're doing right at the minute, and what do you think we just need to be doing better?
I think I've mentioned a few things about doing better. I think when you have hiring power, you know, not only hiring those personalities, because we can teach stuff unless it's something that you need a degree in, you can teach someone. Sorry, the dog just barked, if you can hear that.
I wasn't sure what that was.
I'm sure they couldn't hear it, but it's going to be weird that we both had the same
We were
reaction. When you've got hiring power, you know, holding that door open and going to seek out those communities rather than just having it on your thing. You know, please apply. You know, advertise in those communities. We could start programs. Well grounded, great program. Whenever I've been there, super diverse group of people. Let's start. You know, we're always like, yeah, we can give you jobs in cafes. Why don't we create a career progression? Sorry, that was really difficult for me to say. Yeah, like let's map out career progression for these individuals, not just be like, hello, here's a job on the floor. Not that there's anything wrong with that, by the way, but some people have, you know, they want more, they're hungry for it. So map it out and say, this is the next step. Oh, these are the other things. Like Well Grounded do a great job. Big up Well Grounded. And we need more things like that, and we need to partner with more things like that in the industry, and have internal things like that as well, not just rely on external companies doing things. They're things we could do. Things we're doing well. Are we? Is there anything?
That's it. Done.
No. I do think, like, you know, connections in networking that I've done have been great, and people are very open-minded, and I don't think I've really ever met anyone apart from that one thing that happened at London Coffee Festival.
Whoever wrote that,
You suck.
we don't want you.
Get
around.
out of our industry. Yeah, I mean, everyone I met, there's people doing the work, you know, like We Are Here, big up We Are Here Coffee in Margate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, they're doing the work, and we love that.
Yeah.
And if more people could be like that, the world would be a better place. If we had more well-groundeds, more dialogue hubs, more We Are Here coffees, it's coming. I really believe it's coming.
Yeah. Same.
And I have
I'm
to
hopeful.
believe that.
Absolutely.
If I didn't believe that, I would cry every night in my bed.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Talking to you. I also I feel like we could have gone on for at least 4 hours.
Yeah.
But
God bless
we'll
the
end
people
it
watching
here.
this.
If anyone's still watching or listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you.
And thank you.
No,
Thank
thank you.